When someone ghosts you, it means that they suddenly disappear from your life without an explanation. And if you try and contact them, they don't respond. This can happen in platonic friendships and with romantic partners. Stay tuned to understand what it means to get ghosted and how you can deal with it. Getting ghosted is painful, especially if the relationship was very close. A micro form of ghosting is when someone suddenly unmatches you on a dating app. A more intense form of ghosting is when a friend stops communicating after years of friendship, or someone you've been dating for a while cuts off contact without an explanation. The person that was ghosted is then left wondering, why did they disappear like that? Was it something I said or did? Why would they treat me like this after everything we've been through together? Is there anything I can say, write, do that will change their mind? Often people find it harder to move on after being ghosted. There's no closure from the other side. You're left with unresolved feelings and questions. An explanation gives us a sense of control, which brings inner peace. Being left without one is a huge loss of control and agitating to the mind. You can't work on whatever the problem might have been, so you feel powerless, and you're left ruminating about what you might have done wrong. The challenge you're facing is to find closure and resolve your feelings without the ghoster. The challenge is to learn to live with not knowing what exactly happened within the ghoster that led to this abrupt end. To allow for and find peace with this uncertainty. Since that's hard, let's start with collecting the facts of what you do know. And that is number 1, that the ghoster is afraid of conflict. Number 2, they're driven by avoidance, wanting to avoid your reaction to whatever it is they had to say. Number 3, they're afraid of uncomfortable emotions and not willing to experience them. And number 4, they'd rather leave you guessing than initiate an honest conversation. What you can conclude at this point is that the fact that they ghosted you says something about them and their insecurities and nothing about you. You didn't choose to get ghosted. And even if you did or said something that hurt them, that's not a reason to ghost someone. The emotionally mature thing to do would be to talk about it. It's likely that the ghoster hasn't yet learned how to do that, how to address emotional injuries and repair relationship ruptures. So the meaning of getting ghosted is not that you did a specific thing that makes people ghost others, but that the ghoster's inner world is in a state of anxiety and avoidance. Given that the ghoster left you hanging, you might wonder whether or not you should confront them. Maybe with an email, text, or even by showing up in person. It depends. Mainly it depends on your intentions. And if you do choose to confront them, make sure to do it only once. Don't deplete your emotional energy by chasing them and trying to reconnect over and over. Also, mentally prepare yourself that the ghoster probably won't suddenly change their communication style. They'll probably hold on to their decision to ghost. They might not respond, or if they do, it might be superficial and lack authentic clarity. Their answer might be unsatisfactory, and this could be because they're withholding truth or because they're not aware of what was honestly going on in their inner world. If you're aware of all of this and you want to get an answer for your own closure or to understand, or if you want to set a boundary, it can be empowering to initiate a conversation once. You could address what happened, how that made you feel, and what your values are. Like, I felt hurt and confused when you stopped responding. I value honest and open communication and wish you would have told me if something changed for you. But again, they might not respond, probably not. So be prepared for that and then focus on creating your own closure and moving forward. Important understandings you can work on in this process are: number 1, avoidant communication is a red flag. Were there signs of avoidant communication or behavior in your friendship or relationship before you got ghosted? Maybe, maybe not. It's an important question to ask yourself to see if there's anything you can learn from this friendship or relationship about red flags. Were there possibly red flags you didn't notice or chose to overlook? What could you possibly watch out for in the future? Some examples of avoidant communication are shutting down or stonewalling in a conversation, disengaging, minimizing emotions or the problem, changing the topic to something else or with a joke, agreeing with everything you say to avoid conflict, a reluctance to make decisions, avoidance of commitment, ignoring messages, and procrastinating conflict or problem resolution. Narcissists also sometimes ghost. For them, it can be about revenge, demonstrating power, or feeling in control, wanting to make you doubt yourself. I've got a video about breakups from narcissists. I'll add the link in the top right corner and description box. Number 2, I can move on without knowing exactly why they ghosted me. A reason being ghosted can usurp your life so much is the underlying belief that you need something from the ghoster to be able to move on. A sense that something's missing that they have and that you can't go on without until you have it. The good news is you can. You can go on without an explanation. It's not pleasant, but it's possible. Take back your agency. Don't lose it with the ghoster. It's your life, and you don't need anything from the ghoster to be able to continue living it. You don't need their approval or permission, especially not if they're not willing to engage with you. Number 3, their ghosting does not reflect my worth. Whatever the reason was you got ghosted, the responsibility for the ghosted end to your relationship lies 100% with the ghoster. It doesn't say anything about you or your worth or enoughness or lovability. Part of the way we function is to draw conclusions about our worth based on how other people treat and see us. A developmental task on the path to emotional maturity is to uncouple this line of reasoning. How another person treats you holds no information about your worth. Your worth stands independently of other people's opinions and choices. Your worth stands independently from getting ghosted. The ghoster does not hold the power to decide over your worth. Their actions are not the last word. You hold the power to discover and remain aware of your worth. And that's what's most important. You recognizing and allowing the insight that you're good inside, no matter how you were treated. You didn't deserve to get ghosted. You deserve clarity and conflict resolution. That's undoubtedly true. Also, make sure to structure your day well. Don't get hung up on rumination. Moving on starts in the mind by moving on from excessively thinking about the ghoster and your relationship. Don't give rumination time in your day, and if you have to, maximum 15 minutes. It's a lot more helpful to do things to take care of your mental and physical health and to connect with family and friends. All right, I wish you all the best. Till next time, take care, and remember, the ghoster's behavior doesn't have the power to diagnose or determine your worth. Your worth is independent. And when you recognize that, nothing can stop you from thriving.